Hey guys, Jeremy here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 8-in-1 multi-function air pump and jump starter. They sent this to me so that I can show it to you, and so what we're going to do is just take a look at the unit and all the features that are available, and then show you how to set this up as a jump starter, as a tire inflator, as an air blower, and as a mini car vacuum. So first off is your power supply. Now this is going to be your jump starter and your tire inflator, and it's also going to be your car vacuum or car blower. It's a 4,000 peak amp jump starter, which means that you're going to be able to start just about any gasoline vehicle as well as any diesel vehicle up to about 10 liters. And then for your tire pressure, you're going to be able to do about 150 psi. So with the unit, you do get some hoses for your air blower, as well as for your little mini vacuum. You get all sorts of different accessories for that and different attachments for that. We're going to show those to you here in just a moment. You also get a couple of extra filters for your vacuum, and these filters are washable. Just make sure that they are completely dry before you put them back into your little vac. You got your jump starter cables here, and then you've also got a charging cable, and this charging cable is going to be used for charging the unit as well as being able to charge a phone, a tablet, an iPad, or any other electronic device that you may have. I'll show you that here in just a minute. And then you also do get your tire inflator hose, and then some adapters here so that you can use your inflator for filling up basketballs, footballs, inflatable toys, and things of that nature with these little adapters here. So on the unit itself, you got your power button right here. And once it's powered on, there's a whole bunch of information on this display. The first thing it's showing you is the PSI, which is set at 36 PSI, which is standard for your passenger car vehicles. Your mode button here is going to toggle through up here at the top. You got a vehicle, then you got a motorcycle tire, then you got a bicycle tire, and then you got a basketball. You push that again, and these are going to be your own personal presets. One more push is going to be for your car vacuum. And then when you come back over here, we can see our PSI can be switched when we long press our PSI, or when we long press the mode button. It goes up to bar, and this is going to be on all of your different modes. There's your PSI and bar, and it's just by long pressing it's going to toggle between the two. We go over here to our bicycle tire, and that's going to be bar as well, and it already has the presets, so all you got to do is change your presets by using the plus and the minus. For example, if we wanted to go with the vehicle on the PSI, I know that my vehicle takes either a 32 on one car or a 35 on the other, and so I can reduce that by a ½ pound at a time, and then just set it there. So when we connect our inflator hose right here on the backside of the compressor, and then connect it to the valve stem of a tire, whether that's going to be a bicycle, motorcycle, or a car tire, it's going to show you how much PSI is currently in the tire. And then when we push our power button, again, it's going to start the compressor, and then it'll shut off once your tire is inflated up to the 32, 35, or however many PSI you have. This will do up to 150 PSI. We'll show you that jump starter here in just a minute. Charging a phone is just going to be like charging a phone. You do have your USB-A out, and then you do have a USB-C in and out. And then right here we have where our jump starter is going to connect. On the back side is going to be where we would connect an out hose. So this is going to be a little blower right here, and that's, I want you to see this because it only does go in one way. On that hose there's a little nipple there and a little cutout, so it only goes in one way. Give it a little turn, and then we've got a bunch of different attachments that we can use on this little air blower. But it is going to allow you, for example, like this, to clean out your little vents, your keyboards, and things of that nature. So when we toggle this over to our air out, and you can see our air out, and then we're just going to push our power button to power that on. And you can see it's not a ton of air. It's not a ton of air, but it will be enough air to blow little crumbs out of your seat, your dash, your console, or your keyboard. Now, if you wanted to connect your little vacuum to it, it's going to go on the back side here. You're going to remove this flap. This is going to pop in here just like that. And then we're going to just power it on the same way. So just like the blower, it's not going to do anything that has excessive weight to it. You might be able to get a little bit of sand or gravel out of your floorboard. You may be able to get some stuff up out of your keyboard, but nothing of major that has any weight to it at all. So, but you do have a little vacuum, you do have a little blower, and you do have these attachments that can go on here. A little crevice tool, and then a little brush tool, like if you was using it on your keyboard or if you was using it on your vents in your car. So the next thing I want to do, probably the main use for this unit is going to be for your tire inflation and for jumping your car battery. So when you are inflating your tires, when you open up the driver's side door, there's going to be this manufacturer's sticker right here, which is going to tell you the size of your tire, and then it's also going to tell you the PSI of your tire. So that's going to be your cold tire pressure, and so we want 32 PSI in our tires. Your spare tire is going to be a 60 PSI in this particular vehicle. So because this is a 32 PSI, the first thing I want to do is set my PSI before I connect my tire inflator. And what we're reading here is 36 PSI, which, as we have just discovered, is 4 pounds too much. Now, the reason we have 4 pounds too much is because we've had some extremely cold weather, and it's warm today. It's getting near 60 degrees, and so we're getting an influx in our PSI, and that's going to happen with cold and hot as it fluctuates between the two. It's also going to affect your PSI. So what we're going to do is release some air. Now it's reading 32. So what I want to do, I just want to bump it up to 34 again, just to show you how this works, and then once it reaches 34 PSI, it's going to shut off on its own. So we got our 34 PSI, we're connected to the tire, we're going to hit our power button. And once it reaches 34 PSI, it shuts off automatically. Now the next thing we want to take a look at here is how to connect the jumper to your car battery, both the correct way and the incorrect way. Okay, for your jump starter, you got a positive and a negative side. One side is flat and one side is rounded, which means that you can only put this in one way. You can't mess it up. And once you plug that in, you're going to get a red and green alternating LED lights, which just lets us know that it's ready to connect to the battery. Now, I do know that this is a good battery, so I'm not going to jump it. I'm not going to have to get in there and start it up. I'm just going to show you how to connect it correctly, and then what happens when you connect it incorrectly. So the first thing we're going to do is go red to red, and then we're going to go black to black. And I want you to pay attention right here to the LED lights, because we should get a green LED light letting us know that it's hooked up correctly. There we go. So now you can also listen very closely. That means it's pumping juice into the battery so that you're going to have enough juice to go from the battery to your starter to get it to turn over. Now, when we hook it up wrong, what's going to happen is we should get a steady red light and maybe even a beep to let us know that it's hooked up incorrectly. The thing about hooking this up incorrectly, so there's the red indicator light and then the beep to let us know. It's not hurting the jumper and it's not hurting the battery because it's just not doing anything at all. It's not putting any juice into the battery, and what it's doing is just letting us know that we've crossed our wires and we just need to switch them back to the correct way so that we can jump our car. So I think it's super important that we all have one of these jumpers in our car. This way we're not relying on somebody else in the parking lot to come along with a pair of jumper cables. We can do this as an individual single person, whether we're in an empty parking lot or a full parking lot, we can do it individually. Another thing is with the tire inflator, if we happen to have a low tire and we're out on the side of the road, then we're going to have the ability to fill that up without any trouble up to 150 PSI. Now, if you do happen to have a low tire of an evening or a flat tire of an evening, There is also a flashlight on here, which you can see that's pretty bright here, even out in the middle of the day. So you just do a short press to power that on. Another short press is going to give you an SOS. Another short press is going to give you a red flasher, and then a strobing red flash, and then another quick press is going to power that off. So having one of these in the vehicle, whether it's for yourself or to alert somebody else for an emergency, it's definitely one of those things that should be mandatory in every car. And if it's not mandatory for every car, it should be for yours, and it should be for your children's, so that they're not left in a position where they're having to be in a dark place by themselves, waiting on somebody else to help them when they can do it themselves.